Hello and welcome. Today's project is all about agoraphobia. What is this? How does someone end up with agoraphobia, like myself? And if you break it down, agora is a Greek word for public place with markets. So it's the fear of public places. Now, you get to that outcome one step at a time by avoiding one place at a time. Now, someone with anxiety and anxiety disorder, well, they usually wind up with agoraphobia because they start to avoid certain situations, and then now they're avoiding all situations, and now they're stuck. They feel stuck in their home, and they can't even go one block from their home without feeling panic and anxiety, discomfort. Now, someone with agoraphobia, it all begins when they go somewhere, they encounter the unknown. So a symptom pops up like rapid heartbeat, heart palpitations, shallow breathing, dizziness, lightheadedness, nausea, and they can't seem to control it. It takes over, it overwhelms them, it's the uncertainty, and then they leave the environment. Now, when they leave the environment, associations have then been established. Now there's a strong emotional connection between the symptom and, well, fear, right? Losing control. And then there's an association between the environment and fear. This place, this situation needs to be avoided in the future. And that's coming from your amygdala, your fight, flight, or freeze response. This is your emotional ancient brain, right? So now you have an emotional association between the symptom, this is a bad thing, and then the environment. This place, this situation is a bad thing. And so what happens when you leave? Well, you're saying, I don't want this symptom to pop up, and I don't want to be in this sort of situation when it does. Okay, so what happens? You leave Walmart because of these things, but then what happens if you go to the movie theater? It's not Walmart, but it's a situation where you might feel trapped, where you might feel like you will lose control, but also it's a place where you might embarrass yourself when you lose control. So the two fears are losing control and then being in an environment where you'll embarrass yourself in front of other people. And that will pull or move the person back into territory where they feel safe, where they're around their loved ones, where they are able to grab on some sort of control. Because remember, anxiety disorder is disorder, order that's disrupted, right? They want to desperately grab onto any order that they can. So then they revert back to, or they go to coping strategies that are unproductive, like being dependent on their loved ones to keep them safe. They'll be dependent on Dr. Google to figure out what is going on internally. They'll be dependent on TV to distract themselves from what's going on internally. They'll be dependent on just being at home, just having their home, and they'll start to avoid situations. They'll stop going to work. Like myself, I stopped going to work. I remember just spending all my time in bed, and I remember at one point I called up my sister to come over because I just couldn't stand being with myself. I remember the TV was on, I was in bed, I felt like I was in this cage in my body. I was trapped in my body. It was just total fear of not having control over potential illnesses that I thought I had. And these coping strategies never solve the problem, because anxiety sufferers, they're desperately trying to solve the mystery. They become the detective and they're trying to solve the mystery of their body. And because your brain is plastic, meaning you can learn the fear, means that you can unlearn the fear. So I have a video that you need to watch, which I just released last week, and I'll leave the link above and below, how you can handle these situations of panic and anxiety. And then if you handle the situation appropriately, you can make new associations instead of those strong negative emotional associations that you've made over your symptoms and the environment. Then you can make new associations that are of the opposite. This environment, yeah, it makes me feel uneasy, but I can stay here and survive. Even though I feel dizzy, even though my heart's beating rapidly, even though I feel nauseous, I can stay here and survive. Those things won't happen. The more you can be in a situation where you feel nauseous and all these symptoms, and then realize, hey, they didn't come true. I didn't throw up. I didn't faint. I didn't die in this situation. Then the more you do that, the more you'll be comfortable in those situations in the future. And, well, the more braver you become. If you can handle going to the movie theater with all of those crazy symptoms and the uncertainty, then you'll be brave enough to go to the shopping mall. And then you'll be brave enough to go on that camping trip with your friends and so forth. So if you tackle, by using the video I recommend with the link above and below, with that video, if you're able to tackle one situation and overcome the extreme sensitization you experience in that situation, that'll bleed out into all other situations in your life, and you will become a braver person. And that's where I'm going to leave you on today's video. Make sure you leave your comments below. Is there anything I missed? What are you currently battling? What have you conquered? Leave a like, and please subscribe to the channel, because I post everything anxiety recovery, self-help, because I've been through pretty rough patches in my past with agoraphobia, depression, anxiety, just feeling lost, not having any meaning in my life, and overcoming these giant mountains, and still striving to be better than I was yesterday. And lastly, do not let anxiety define who you are. I will see you on the next video. Bye for now. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell so that whenever a new video of mine appears, you will be one of the first to know. Namaste.